Good morning and welcome to the Core Connection. I'm Mira Rubin here with you on Enlightened World Network. And today's topic is Ikigai. I think I'm pronouncing it right, but I'm not certain. And it means finding one's purpose, really. It is reason for being is actually the translation of it. And we were talking about purpose as an organizing principle yesterday. And so this just showed up on my in my browser somehow yesterday. So it was so spectacular that I thought we could have a conversation about it today. So good morning, Rosalind. Welcome. It's great to start the morning with you as always. And with everyone else who's joining us, welcome, welcome, welcome. And we're going to continue our conversation about purpose, the power of purpose, and specifically Ikigai, which is, I have to say, I never heard of, but it just really brings together the things that I've spoken about in terms of purpose. So I think it'll be interesting. Good morning, Bernadette. Welcome. So good to have you here with us this morning. And before we get, yeah, right? Rosalind says, what a powerful word to mean all those things. Wait till you see. It's very cool. So before we get started, let's take a minute or two to get present. Let's take a deep breath in through your nose and hold it. And imagine clean, crisp oxygen flooding your lungs, filling your bloodstream, nourishing all your cells, all your organs, bringing vital life energy to your body and being. And as you exhale, exhale any tension, stress, negativity, fatigue. And now let's take another deep breath in through your nose and hold it. This time, imagine brilliant, bright light lighting you up from the inside out, illuminating, electrifying, and energizing all your cells, all your molecules, all your electrons, creating a brilliant beam of light and energy from your heart out into the world. And as you exhale, exhale any remaining tension, stress, negativity, fatigue. And now let's press our palms together. Vigorously rub your hands together to feel the friction, the temperature, the pressure, all that sensation, the tickling and tingling when you stop, and allow all that sensation to bring you present right here, right now, into this remarkable physical form that enables you to experience life. Welcome, welcome. So Ikigai. I'm actually going to share my screen. Let's see how this goes. I think I am going to share my screen. I want to show you. Give me a second because I want to put this diagram up. It's so cool. I think it'll be a pretty awesome thing. And there's a test that you can take on a website, a free test, one of these sort of personality test kind of things that helps you discover what your Ikigai is. And it may be, it's interesting. I'll share what I got as a result, which was, I thought it was really, really interesting, actually. But here, if you notice these big circles, there's the pink circle of what I love, the blue circle of what the world needs, the orange circle of what I'm good at, and the green circle of what I can get paid for. And where all these intersect is the result that gives you your Ikigai. So where what I love intersects with my passion, my personality, my mission, all of that is coming together here with my career, my vocation, my personality, which is also archetype, my profession, my weirdness, which we talked about yesterday, is like, what is the thing that you've been criticized for, that is your unique weirdness. And all of that comes together in the middle, which is pretty cool, I think. So I let me give you the link also. Hold on, if I can see if I can paste that in. It's called ikigaitest.com, I believe. Let me see if I can paste it in here. Nope. Let's see. Let me get it for you. So let's see if I can put it in here. There you go. I don't know if you can see it. It's ikigaitest.com, ikigaitest.com. And so it's a combination or the convergence of what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, which was what breaks your heart, and what you can be paid for. So it was really interesting to me that my tests came up with multimedia artists and animators, which is really funny because I've told you I went through a period of crisis where I had decided thank you, Rosalind. Thank you for putting it in the chat. I put it in, but I don't know if it showed up. Anyway, I had gone through a just devastating crisis, and I was going to kill myself. And I had a moment of grace of awareness where I recognized, you know what, I need to get some help. So I went to counseling and okay. Thanks, Rosalind. I appreciate that. Anyway, Rosalind said the comment showed up. Anyway, as a result of that, I gave myself permission to go back to school. And I went back to school to be a multimedia artist and animator. And that's what my Ikigai came up as, which is very interesting. So, I think maybe I'll share the screen again so that you can see this, so you get an idea of how it works. I'm just going to zoom out a little bit so you can see the thing in a second. It's just fascinating. We all love to learn more about ourselves, right? But having it just encapsulated this way so simply, it's very interesting. So I'm just gonna share the screen again with you guys. Let's see. Here we go. So this is so interesting. So here is the multimedia artists and animators, because it didn't bring up transformational coach necessarily, but it says my personality is thoughtful artist, my career art and design, and I had an 18-year career, well, longer than that actually, more than a 20-year career in computer graphics and teaching computer graphics. And I had gone back to school for computer animation and multimedia, which is pretty wild. So art and design is very much a part of what I've done in my life. My archetype, mediator who enjoys being independent. Independence is a really big thing for me. My weirdness, relaxed independence. There's the independence again. My passion, performing creative activities such as art, theater, crafts, dance, music, or creative writing. So I do consider myself a bit of a writer. I went to art school. I went to follow-up school with multimedia. I consider, in terms of my values, creativity is one of my foremost values, it's essential to my life. I need to be able to be creative. Um, my profession is making my own decisions and working at my own pace, which, I think I've said to you all, I'm pretty much unemployable because I need to work on my own and do things the way that I want to do things. I mean, I can collaborate with people, but I'm not good working for somebody else. I'm good working with people. And I'm good at interpreting the meaning of information for others. So I've always said that I'm a translator. I can translate complex concepts into understandable form. And I did technical writing for a number of years, and I wrote a couple books on software. And so isn't this interesting? Analyzing data or information, provide consultation and advice to others, assisting and caring for others. There's the coaching piece, right? I love having a good time and enjoying myself while performing a given task. And my mission is studying, understanding, and solving math or science problems, whether theoretical or technical. It's not so much math and science, but consciousness, right? But solving issues, looking at our world and how to create a better world. The world needs communications and media, history and archaeology, fine arts, economics, and accounting. It seems like that's a whole blend, which is very much my approach to things, is looking to find the unity among all these different components in the world. So it's interesting to me that it nailed what I did for a big part of my life. And it alluded to the other things that I do. So it could be a very interesting tool for you to check it out. Bernadette says, thanks to Rosalind for sharing the name. Yeah. Oh, fun, Bernadette. Awesome. Bernadette's making birthday cake for an 8-year-old. Anyway, what fun is this, and the reason for being, our sense of purpose, really truly does need to integrate all those points. Our weirdness or our personality, the things we love to do, the thing that we're also good at, because we can love to do things that we're not good at. And hopefully what we can be paid for, so that we can make a living, doing what we love. And also, what does the world need? So in terms of transformation, what breaks your heart? What is it that the world needs that you bring forward uniquely with all of your gifts? So I just thought it was so cool to see this encapsulated so elegantly. And if you do a search for Ikigai, you'll find a variety of different diagrams that delve a bit more deeply into the different intersections of things and what the emotional component of those elements might be. And I really do believe, when we're looking at purpose, that the thing that makes it work is the part of what the world needs. to be stepping into this higher space. So Bernadette says, it's a real eye opener for showing up meant to be on a path. Yeah, yeah. We each have our uniqueness that we came here to express. And this is, this is just a visual, not just, but the questions that they ask are really interesting. I think it's interesting that they don't look at, I didn't really see much in the way of sustainability questions or unconventional kinds of professions, although animator might be somewhat unconventional. It's funny because the books that I wrote were books on a software called InDesign, and it was both the books were about the animation capabilities of that application, which was pretty cool, actually, and also creating ebooks, electronic books. So I was fascinated by how accurate the assessment was. Although not complete, it was accurate. And nice to also have the confirmation to see, that I've been on a path of alignment. But I think that you can look at the things that you've been drawn to in your life, the jobs that you've done in your life that that sing to certain parts of yourself. So Bernadette, Bernadette says, you have an interesting life you've led. Hey, why not? I feel like I've lived multiple lives in this life for sure. I've reinvented myself multiple times, and I invite you to know that you can do the same. This is another period of reinvention right now. With the past several years, and developing sustainability now started in 2017, and the coaching started 2018 or 2019 in terms of a full-time career. And we always have the opportunity to be reinventing ourselves. And as long as we're alive, we get to follow our hearts, or rise to the place where we have the courage to do so. And I remember I went to art school, and when I went to art school, I felt like a kid in a candy shop because there were so many things to do, so many things to try, and I wanted to try everything. And as a result of my varied interests, I was called a dilettante, a jack of all trades, master of none, because I had all these interests. And the thing is, interestingly, that through that diversification, it has given me a broader perspective, a broader view of potential and possibility than I would have had I not had all of that exposure. So it gives me understanding, while not necessarily a developed expertise, but it gives me understanding of how lots and lots of things work. And also an expertise in a number of different areas where I've had the opportunity to delve more deeply. So what is life if it isn't a playground? What's the point of living if it isn't to experience? I mean, I think that's a really worthwhile question for us to look at when we have a dream and then subvert it, or don't give ourselves permission to explore that dream. Bernadette says exactly, and I love playgrounds. So, I mean, this is what a playground. What a playground. What an opportunity to explore so many things and experience so many things. We start our day together with the centering exercise and bringing ourselves present to this physical form that enables us to experience life. We often interact with our body as if it's an enemy, where we're critical of it and we're um, talking about its limitations or its faults rather than being grateful for the fact that this is the vehicle through which we experience life, truly, truly. And, whatever shape our body is, it's how we are alive. It's how we get to play on the playground. And there's such a richness to that perspective, I think, in that we get to experience all of it. Part of the playground's not just exploring all different things, but experiencing all different things, which includes experiencing all different emotions. It includes experiencing all different physical sensations. It includes experiencing all kinds of different people. Rosalind says, tools to elevate our perspective to the truth in our hearts. I love that, Rosalind. Very, very true. The Ikigai diagram, the Ikigai test, personality tests, archetype tests, things that give us an opportunity to see ourselves perhaps more clearly so that we may connect more authentically, more deeply with what our soul is calling forward. Rosalind said, I resonate with how do I provide this for one person and scale it from there. So that's an interesting consideration, is scaling, right? The notion of scaling works on certain assumptions, and the assumption typically is bigger is better, and there's a certain level of efficiency that can be achieved when we scale something. It makes it more efficient, and these assumptions are not globally true. And I think it's really important for us to be questioning assumptions because, so Rosalind says, Mira, do you have any more info about tools for living into the emergent future? You mentioned doing something starting in February. Rosalind, you're the best. Thank you so much for asking. So it has morphed. Instead of calling it tools for living into the emergent future, which is really kind of the key to what it is, it's going to be a course about money. We're going to use money as the focal point to be looking at these tools for living into the emergent future and our relationship with money. And the reason I chose to do that is because I thought it might be a way to, first of all, I thought it would attract more people because who doesn't have stuff going on about money in some way, shape, or form? And money brings up pretty much everything, all of our sense of self and identity and attachment and values. And so a course about money is really a course about life and being and creating new perspectives to move into the emergent future. And so I've kind of repackaged it in my mind, and I know it doesn't have the same for people that resonate with the idea of living into the emergent future. It may not have the same resonance in name. I haven't come up with a good name about it for it yet, exactly. But it's not your typical course on abundance or, in fact, I'm thinking I should do a survey to find out what people would be interested in covering in the course, because one of the things I was thinking of was creating an opportunity for people to workshop together, to have work groups, where people could say, oh, I really need some support and just sitting down and doing my invoicing. And so people could gather together with each other. So, yeah, I have a lot of ideas about that. And I'm going to probably be talking more about money and the development of this over the next little while. So Rosalind, I so appreciate you asking. And even though the title really called to you, I'm hoping that that the course would still be of interest, because it's really fundamentally working with all the same issues, just with a different locus. So Bernadette says, I think a scale is a predetermined of where things need to be or go. So, we often, with scale, oh, Bernadette says, into the abyss. Yeah, right? When we talk about scale, this is the reason it brought up money also. Well, the scale is something that we look at when we talk about money, as like if one is good, more is better. And what I know about my core connection work is I don't think there's not a way that I know of to scale it, other than seeing more people. And so the thing that I'm looking at is a group course to be able to share these tools for living into an emergent future, and imagining our relationship with our world, our material world, and maybe reimagining money. What do you think of that title? Reimagining money and our relationship with it. What do you think about that? Yeah, it's interesting, this notion of scaling, because when businesses get big, they change their fundamental nature. They have to, right? When we expand, let's say I'm a craftsperson and I'm paying all this love and attention to something that I'm creating, and then I start mass producing it, there's a whole different process, there's a whole different energy to it, and those things that are being mass produced are not necessarily even of comparable energy or quality, right? It's not to say that some sense of scaling things isn't doable, but maybe we get to take different concepts, different foundational principles to what that scaling is about, to guide it. in different ways, perhaps. So Bernadette says, reimagining your stepping stones. I think that I definitely want to have money in the title, because money is such a trigger for so many people. And it is part of my objective to get a lot of people that want to do this course, so that we can be engaging together in a dynamic way, and also making a greater impact. That's kind of where it's coming from. So it's intention meets marketing meets transformation, maybe. I'm not sure. Bernadette says, I like money. Well, that's awesome. Good. So hopefully you have a good relationship with it. I think it's a good foil for exploration, discovery. Raising the vibration around money, Rosalind says. Yeah, exactly. Like creating a new relationship with it, raising the vibration, our vibration in relation to it, raises its vibration. So it's funny. Let me see if I have this here. I have to check. Yeah. So this is, here I am thinking about this money course, and a friend of mine got me a Far Side calendar, and this was the very first thing on the calendar. And it says, it says, Einstein discovers that time is actually money. So I thought it was pretty awesome, because we often talk about time being energy. I mean, money being energy. And Einstein was all about energy and time and mass and space and all of that good stuff. So I thought that was such an interesting and timely wink from the universe. So, oh, Bernadette says, okay, I said to Bernadette, I hope you have a good relationship with money. Bernadette says, sure do, in one hand and out the other, LOL. Yeah, so that's kind of the relationship a lot of us have with money. And so yeah, I think it'll be fun to explore that. So maybe you all will engage with me more deeply around money, so that we can help shape this course together. Anyway, that's it for today. I'm Mira Rubin. Check out Ikigai or ikigaitest.com, IKIGAI. Bernadette says, need the money to stop, need it to stop and show me its worth before getting in one hand and out the other. That's awesome. So anyway, I'm Mira Rubin. This is the Core Connection. I go live here each weekday morning on the Enlightened World Network Facebook page and YouTube channel at 9 a.m. Eastern. And I invite you to have to check out the other awesome programming on Enlightened World Network, EWN, One with the Earth, Enlightened World Living. And until next time, so much love.